Hello everyone. My name is Afan Mandal, and in this video I'm going to talk about the introduction to Angular. So what is Angular? Angular is an open source web application framework which is used to build dynamic or robust web applications or websites. So Angular is maintained by Google. So Angular first, you might have heard this word Angular JS or Angular, and you might have been confused between these two. So Angular JS was developed in 2010, but the JS, the name which is behind the Angular represents JavaScript, meaning the Angular JS was written in JavaScript language. But this Angular which I am talking about was introduced later, and the whole Angular JS was completely rewritten, and it was then written in TypeScript format. In this way, so the Angular and Angular JS both are separate. The JS one is totally dependent on the JavaScript language, and the Angular 2 or Angular 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7 are based on TypeScript language. TypeScript is also a superset of JavaScript. So why we needed the Angular if we had the Angular JS? Because the JavaScript Angular was much more very limited to the libraries because it was using only jQueries. But using TypeScript, it enabled us more flexibility and it made us more by making us creating more powerful websites that are more modular. So, but most of the browsers don't support TypeScript language, so it has to be transcompiled again into JavaScript so that it can run in our browsers. So, what was the need to have a Angular which had to transcompile again? Because TypeScript allows us more features as compared to JavaScript. If you talk about the features, it gives us like a ready-made boilerplate. It reduces our task and it has better performance than the JavaScript Angular. So let's see why we need Angular. As Angular follows the MVVM architecture, it simply means that model view or view model architecture. So this architecture is divided into three phases. The first one is model phase. In model, all the business logic and data is written. In MVVM architecture, the concerns are separated. That is, the business logic is separated from the UI logic. But the traditional architecture, that was MVC, it was tightly coupled, meaning it was more difficult to maintain the MVC framework. And that's why Angular came here to solve our problem with the new architecture, that was MVVM model. So MVVM model, that is, the first one is model which has all the business logic, and it usually communicates with the APIs and all the databases. And then we have view which represents all the UI or the user interface which we see as a front end, meaning it all consists of list and all the buttons which we see in the web application or website. So this view part and model part is separated in the MVVM model. And the view model component which acts as an intermediary between model and view. So it makes sure that only the necessary components are visible to view, and then after all those data is handled by the view component, then only it moves forward to the model. So both the concerns are separated in MVVM model, and that was the most and powerful advantage of using Angular, and that's why Angular is so popular. If we talk about the similarities of Angular, we have also React.js and Vue, which acts as the same, but Angular stands out from these two. So that was all from my side. I hope you learned something new. My name is Aftab Mandal. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.